Nothing beats roast pork, particularly when you've got the crispiest crackling. And I find the best way to cook a roast pork with crispy crackling is in the air fryer. It works every time and it's super reliable. And I'm going to show you a version where I'm doing a smaller portion here, so it takes no time at all to cook. I'm also going to serve it with a delicious chili sauce. So let's start with the chili sauce. I've got 4 or 5 long chilies and a whole bulb of garlic. So I like to just brush just very, very lightly with some oil, any oil you like. I've just got some vegetable oil here. And then these are going to roast in the air fryer just to give this a really lovely depth of flavour. So into our air fryer they go. And another beautiful thing about air frying is less oil. So you just need a smallest amount of oil to make a big difference. I'm going to set the air fryer to 180 degrees and this is going to cook for about 15 minutes or until that garlic is super soft and it's slightly caramelised. I'm then going to take them out and just let them sit there to cool down slightly before we blend them up. Now onto the pork, you can see how dry this skin is, and that's because yesterday I placed it into the fridge uncovered. This is a critical point to ensure that we get that crispy skin. So if you have time, buy the pork the day ahead, pop it in the fridge and it dries out, and that's going to give us crispy skin. We're just wanting to very, very lightly oil the skin and the flesh. I'm going to add some salt and no other seasonings because all of that flavour is going to come from this chili sauce that we're making. So salt that, and we just need to wait for our chili and garlic to finish cooking. Once that's done, it comes out and then this goes in, and I like to turn the temperature up slightly to about 200 degrees so we set that crackling, and then it's going to continue cooking. It's only going to take about 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, the chilies and the garlic are cooked. Smells fantastic. So we're going to take them out and just pop them into a bowl. You can see how they've blistered. The skins have really come away from the flesh, and the garlic. Oh, roasted garlic. Nothing beats roasted garlic. Just place that to one side, in with a beautiful piece of pork belly, and we're going to reset this to 200 degrees this time. Okay, and I'm going to set the timer to 25 minutes. I'll keep an eye on it. You don't want it to burn, so if it's getting a bit too hot, you just simply lower the temperature. Now onto the sauce. Into a jug, I'm going to add a good knob of ginger, about 3 centimetre piece, and some vinegar, so white vinegar is fine, along with some smoked paprika and some oregano. This is very similar to a piri-piri style sauce. Some sugar for balance, and a good amount of extra virgin olive oil. Okay. To this I'll add my garlic, and you can see how soft it's become after cooking in our air fryer. It's got such a wonderful sweet flavour after it's been roasted. Okay, next in with our chilies, and I want to show you these chilies. After they've roasted in the air fryer, the skins simply fall off. See how I can just peel that away? They're going to go in, and then I'm going to add a pinch of salt and then blend it with a stick blender. This has been cooking for 25 minutes and you can see we've got crispy crackling, but the pork needs just a little longer to cook. So now I'm going to put that back in and we'll just lower the temperature to 160, and that's going to take another 20 minutes. Well, how good does this pork belly look? Look how blistered it is on the top. Do allow it to rest. Nothing worse than cutting into this when it's come straight out of the air fryer. As you rest it, the juices relax back into the meat and it's going to be super juicy, super crispy. And I promise you it will hold its heat. So I'm using a serrated knife here. I find it easier to get through that crackling and then the meat. And look how tender and juicy this is. And I'm going to cut this into a few little medallions. Even you can pop it on the side, so a bit more control with the knife. And there's a few ways to serve this. Very simply, as is, with some Asian greens and some rice and the chili sauce. Or if you want to take it even further, you can serve it in a delicious soft bread roll with mayonnaise and the chili sauce. There's two options there. And I like to just lay it onto a plate before I serve it at the table like this, with that beautiful chili sauce on the side with lots of ginger in it. We'll pop that there. And then let everyone make up their delicious sandwich, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So a nice soft roll, cut that in half. And if you love mayonnaise just as much as I do, then a dollop of mayonnaise, it goes so nicely with the chili sauce. This is really decadent. And some of the chili sauce on the other side. Pork belly with all of that crackling. And see how thin that crackling is? It means it's been rendered down nicely, so you don't have any of that really gelatinous style fat. It's just super, super crispy. Load it up, sandwich that together, and right there you have a real treat. And that is a delicious bundle of joy. Succulent meat, crispy crackling, and that delicious ginger and chili sauce. It goes so nicely in this bread roll, or simply as is. Can you believe we've made all of that in the air fryer? That's why air frying is so popular.